Good morning, everyone. Today we will be going ahead and discussing about joins. So, my agenda for today is to discuss about joins and inner joins. So, when we say about a join, it exactly means inner join. Join and inner join does not have any difference as per the SQL syntax. So anyhow, join is a common word, generic word, and inner join is a specific kind of join. Similarly, they can be left join, they can be right join, they can be cross join, they can be self join, they can be left outer join, right outer join. So again, outer join and left outer join are basically in Microsoft SQL, but these are not present in MySQL. And today we will be like basically talking only about inner join. So if you see up my screen, we have a diagram over here which depicts the inner join. So again, inner join is something like which have the common rows of table 1, which is members out here, and table 2, which is committees out here. So this is just a Venn diagram representation, like you will understand more as we will do the practical stuff. Like for now you can understand this in this way. Like let's assume that we are building up a banking software, and this banking software has three tables. One is user, second is account, third is funds. So you see that user table has two columns. One is user ID and name. Account has three column: account ID, user ID, and holder's name. This is nothing but this username. Then we have the funds. So fund ID, then the user which has like deposited the fund and in which account this has been deposited, and then the fund deposited amount. So funds is nothing but the deposited like funds. We are not considering the debited amount as of now. So our scenario just has this deposited funds. So we can see that the system has 8 users. So John is a user and John has one account. You can see that the user ID is 1, which is account number 1. Jane has no account. So this user does not have any account. Then Mary does not, the Mary has one account, which is this account number 2. David has no account. Amelia with user ID 5. Amelia with user ID 5 has one account, and Amelia with user ID 7 has one account. John with user ID 6, like the name can be same of two people, right? So that's why like we consider user ID as the primary key. So John with user ID 6 does not have any account, and this particular person user having no account also do not have any account. I have just given it this name so that you people can understand it like later on. Like this particular this becomes very easy to understand, like user having no account, this has no account. Account having no user, this has no user. So that's why we have marked it as null at both the places. And then we are saying that user ID 1, it means John, user ID 1 has deposited some amount to account 2. Account 2 belongs to Mary, and the amount deposited is 300 bucks. Similarly, user ID 2, which is Jane, has deposited some amount to account number 3, which is for Amelia, and the amount deposited is 100. Now, if you have to find what all users have what all accounts. So you say that user ID 1 is John. John has only one account. This user ID 1 has only one account, which is account number 1. If we say Mary, which is user ID 3, user ID 3 has two accounts, right? So there should be in total two accounts, which is 2 and 5. So here we can have 2 comma 5, right? Here this person has only one account, which is 1. So in the similar way, we can say that accounts. So there we want to see what all persons have what all accounts. So at the end, what we see is like we want another column to be added to this table user, right? So in the previous chapter where we discussed about the difference between union and join, so here we can understand that now we need another column. So we are adding up horizontally, right? Horizontally, not vertically. So hence we require a join to fetch this kind of table, while we do it in Workbench. Now let us go ahead and do the same thing on Workbench to understand inner join as of now. Let's go ahead and open up Workbench. In Workbench, at first, the first step which we take every time is like at first we will go ahead and create the tables. So I am dropping up the previous tables if they exist. Then I will go ahead and create this table. If you see, table user has two column, user ID and name, as we just saw in the Excel. Account has few columns, which is account ID, user ID and account holder name, again as we just saw in the table. And fund has fund ID, user ID, account ID and funds. I am just going ahead and creating up these tables. Okay, so these tables have been created successfully. Now let us go and insert the values. So I will be inserting the same values as they were there in the Excel. So I am going ahead and inserting the values now. You can see we are just using the insert statement, insert into user, account and funds. So insert is also successful. Now the next part is I want the account numbers of all the persons in the user table and their associated accounts, right? And we have already seen that we have to make an inner join. We need another column by the side of the user table so that we can see what all accounts are associated to an user, and that's why we want a horizontal attachment, and that's why we will be using joins. So in this particular if you see over here, select, then we have the column ID, right? And then after that we have from, then we have the table, and at the end we have the group by statement. So if you see line number 53, 54 and 55. So now we will just concentrate on line number 54, which says that user table, this is Alice name, please do inner join with table account on user ID and user ID of account and user ID of user. So we are actually doing the inner join on user ID of user table and account table. So as the column name are same in both of them, so rather than using this statement, so again I am reiterating, this statement is correct. We can also use something like this. So this means that this particular column is present in account table and user table, and we want to do the inner join using this column. Again, when we say on statement, it is also doing the same thing. It is doing the inner join. It is giving the inner join condition. So inner join always has a condition attached. Why it has the condition attached, we will just study about it. So inner join always has a condition attached. So it has a condition attached saying that u.user ID should be equal to a.user ID. Now what exactly is happening? Let us forget about this group by function for now, and let me remove this particular group concatenate statement. Let me just delete it and just type in a.account underscore ID. So let it be this simple and let us run it. So as we run it, what exactly happens? So to understand this, I will go ahead and open the Excel so that the data comes side by side, right? So as we open the Excel, now what we will see that we have done an inner join on table user and account using column user ID. So what will happen? The system will take up the first row of the left table of inner join. Left table of inner join was user inner join account, right? So it will take the first row of this particular table, and it will compare to all the rows of account table. It will take John and say user ID John matched. So it will prepare another table, which is the new table formed after join, which is this, and it will say user ID 1 is John. User ID 1 is John, and account ID is also 1, which is this, right? So it says 1 John 1, right? So these three values will be taken up. So again, it will go to the next row. So it will find that user ID is not okay. It does not match with this user ID. So first row of user is still matching with accounts. Then it will go to the third row of account. Match with the first row of user. No, does not match. Fifth row, sixth row, seventh row, again, like all the rows will be matched to the first row of user. But the match will be taken up only with the first row of account, because the user ID is same in both the cases. And that's why when we saw the Venn diagram, we were just fetching up the intersect part, like the part which was common in both the tables, because it is like comparing it via two columns in two different tables. But what is the process? The first row is picked from the left table. It is matched with all the rows of second table. Second row is picked from the left table. It is matched with all the rows of right table. So now the second row will be picked. Jane, user ID 2. User ID 2 does not have any account, right, over here. So user ID 2 is not present in the table. Then it will say user ID 3. User ID 3 again does not have, like, it has two accounts. One is for Mary and second again is for Mary, right? Account ID 2 and account ID 5. So user ID 3 is present two times. One is this and second is this, right? Similarly, if we go to David, so I will just go ahead and mark it, right? So user ID 3 is for Mary and it has a account ID of 2. Again, Mary has account ID of 5 and user ID of Mary is 3. Mary has these two accounts, correct? So now it will move to the next row, which is David. David does not have any account, fourth. So user ID 4 is not present over here. User ID 5th. Fifth has one account, which is account number 3. So fifth has one account, which is account number 3. So it is present. So again, John with user ID 6. John with user ID 6 does not have any account. So it is not present out here, right? So we just have, then we have Amelia with user ID 7. Amelia with user ID 7. Amelia with user ID 7 has one account. So we have one account. So in the sense, all of these rows are matched with all of these rows. Now, this was all about inner join, but inner join is never used individually in practical world. In most of the cases, you will find that inner join will always be combined with user ID and username. So now this is the table which we fetched from line number 53 and 54. Now we are combining line number 55 with this. As we combine line number 55 with this, we make change to our account ID and say group concatenate. What exactly this does? So we are saying group by user ID and username. So what are the groups? One group, second group. So this group has two values. One value this and second value this. So this is a group. These two are same, right? When we combine these two, 3 and Mary, so these two are same. So this has two values. So similarly 5 Amelia and 7. So what will this group concatenate do? Group concatenate will just concatenate 2 and 5. So again, when I will run this particular query, like in total, so now it has group the third and Mary, and now we can see that John having user ID 1 has one account. Mary having user ID 3 has two accounts, having ID 2 and 5. Amelia with user ID 5 has one account, having account ID 3. Again, Amelia with user ID 7 has one account, and account ID is 6. So one thing I want you to focus, like at the very start of this tutorials, I said that inner join and join are same in MySQL or in SQL or in Microsoft SQL. If I just remove inner join and just place join over here, so and I rerun the query, so it will give me the same results because these two things are the same. So you can either use just join or you can use inner join. They both mean the same. And like I have just said you like given you an example of this. And the second point which we studied today is like rather than using on, we can use using and then say user ID. The column name is same in both the tables. So we have the same column name user ID and user and account, right? I will just go ahead and run it. Now, what exactly is happening? Now we are getting up all the user ID and username and accounts for people who are having the accounts. What about the usernames who does not have any accounts? So for doing this, we actually need the left join. So here, like if we just mention left join and like run this statement, so now we will be able to see all the users name and all the accounts, like even the username which have null accounts. So in the next chapter, we will be discussing the left join. But like before like going ahead like and closing up this chapter, I want you to understand one more scenario. So this scenario is basically a join in which we will be joining up more than two tables. So here we are just joining up users and account. And if we go to our Excel and we say we have another scenario, and in that scenario, what we are doing is at first we are just getting up the user underscore ID, then we are getting up the user underscore name, then we are getting up the account ID of that user. And now if we even want to get the sum of the funds, so for example, we need like John has this one account and what is the sum of the fund into this one account or in these two accounts or in this like five accounts. So similarly, if we want the sum of the funds in this account, I'll just go ahead and delete left join for now. So we want another column over here. So we are adding up columns. So we are having a horizontal like additions, right? So that's why we are using up joins. So now what we will do is like in the same query, we will just add another join, inner join, saying that please give us the funds. So we will say funds, so table name is funds, and we will say fund ID has something called as account ID. So we are calculating the sum of the funds of the account. So we are this user ID means like on what criteria you should join. So next point is like on what criteria you should join. We can join on user ID, we can join on account ID, we can join on these tables does not have fund, right? So we can either join on account ID or we can join on user ID. So we are actually joining on account ID. This is what like this fund belongs to this account. User ID means that this user has deposited the amount. So we do not want that. We want like what account has what sum, right? So we will be joining up with account ID. So I will just go ahead over here and say join funds, and this will be joined to this particular table, this table as a whole joins to funds, and this table has something called as like in total like these are the columns which have been fetched at the end, but this particular table has more columns, right? It has all the columns which are there in user, it has all the columns which are there in accounts, and then at the end user column user ID, user column name, u dot user id, u is the alias name for user, a is the alias name for account. So in the similar way, a dot account id, so these things are fetched at the end. So if you go ahead and like see back the previous tutorials, we have discussed about the flow of select statement. So at first, for from is like resolved into a single table. So again, this particular table will join with funds, and we will say like join it with funds and say using account id. So we are joining it with funds saying using account id, and we will have another column over here and say sum of funds. So what is the value of the name of the column which stores the funds? That is funds, right? Sum of, and just give it as alias name as f, saying that f dot funds. So we need sum of funds, right? So we will just go ahead and run this. So now you see over here that we are getting up the funds summation. So John has in total 900. So one name is missing out here. So if we see out here that previously we were having John having account 1. So John has account 1, but account 1 has funds of 900. So this is what has been fetched, that account 1 has funds of 900. Then Mary has two accounts, 2 and 5. So if you see over here, account 5 does not have any funds. That's why this table does not have any like account 5 for Mary. It has been removed, and Mary has only account 2 which has funds of 300, which has been mentioned. Then Amelia has account 3, and then we see that account 3 has 100 funds. Similarly, account 7 does not have any ID attached. If you see, it does not have any user attached. So that's why that particular user has not been like given over here. In the similar way, account 4 Joy has some money, but it does not have any user. So maybe like in a practical scenario, this will not be the case that any account which have the money should be having an user ID. But I wanted you to realize one thing, that in inner join only those rows will be shown up which are common in all the tables. And using what criteria? Using the criteria which we give after on or using statement. So again, to get all the rows and like everything which is on the right side and left side, then we have something called as left join and right join which comes into picture, and this is what we will be discussing next. So this brings our lesson to close, and in the next chapter we will be studying about left join. Thank you guys.